Hey everybody. Tonight's intro is going to step a little bit away from our usual mythical party, Connie the Caster and all of her friends. We're going to talk about an actual situation where I used Guardian of Faith against my PCs in a recent campaign. They had gone to Innistrad and they were getting to the final boss area of Innistrad where they were going to have to fight the main boss. And the first creature that they ran into that they were going to have to deal with was a Scab Goliath, which is a card straight out of the Innistrad set. And I decided, in looking at the Scab Goliath, the correct template for that to throw against my party was going to be to call it a Mummy Lord. Okay, so now this thing is a huge undead, and the template is based on a spell casting CR 15 undead out of D&D. And one of the spells that the Mummy Lord gets that I used in the encounter is the Guardian of Faith. And the Guardian of Faith causes a spectral guardian in the form of a weapon and a shield with the holy symbol emblazoned on it. And because of all the corruption in Innistrad, the holy symbol that shows up on that shield is the symbol of Avacyn, the archangel that everybody in Innistrad worships. So it was an interesting addition to the battlefield, and it really did do a number on a couple of the characters when they thought they were going to have to fight one entity. Then suddenly it summons this other thing onto the battlefield, which starts attacking them as well. And plus, if you've ever played around with Mummy Lords, you know they have some really kind of very interesting teleportation capabilities that let them move all around the battlefield. And I reflavored some of those so that instead of being sand and rot flavored like they are for the Mummy Lord, they were sort of swamp and disease flavored for the environment that they were in, and the fact that this was a Scab Goliath that was rising up out of swamp water and attacking them. So, all right, all that is to say that we are here tonight for Divine Thursday. We are going to be talking about the spell Guardian of Faith. And I am DM Gallibond, and this is Divine Thursday for October 29th, 2020. So let's go ahead and get on with this. The Guardian of Faith is a relatively new addition to D&D. It actually only came in during 4th edition. It did not exist as this particular spell before then. So you conjure a ghostly guardian instinct, except for a glowing shield emblazoned with your deity symbol. Burst of radiance erupts from it to sear foes that move next to it, and it's a cleric daily power. And you just put that in place, and then anytime an enemy stops next to it, the Guardian of Faith attacks it. Pretty simple. In 5th edition, that has become a 4th level spell. And it lasts for 8 hours, and as a large spectral guardian appears and hovers for duration in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see. So it's also considered a large creature, which means for the space it occupies, it threatens more squares around it, basically. Guardian occupies that space in distinct, except for a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the symbol of your deity. Any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet for the first time must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or takes 20 radiant damage or half as much on a successful one. And the Guardian vanishes when it has dealt a total of 60 damage. So that is um, it's a neat way of, kind of putting into the fight after. You want to kind of bring it in kind of at the end of Act 1 of your fight, around the time that the party has sort of gotten comfortable with the fact that they know how many enemies are on the battlefield. Then you bring that in to have one more enemy and one more thing for them to worry about. But unless they really know the spell that well, kind of the cool thing about it is once it deals damage 3 times if everybody fails their saves, or 6 times if everybody makes their saves, or more likely somewhere in between, then it vanishes. And unless your big bad has another 4th level spell slot they want to burn late in the fight to bring another one out, yeah, you're probably only going to see one per fight. Because in the case of my party fighting that big scab Goliath, as tough as it is as an enemy, and as hard as it hits, and as many attacks as it gets, they were a party of 5, actually a party of 6 against one creature. So 6 people attacking one enemy, yeah, that's going to go ahead and burn that enemy down pretty quickly. Um, so I think they did have a couple of people that dropped to 0 and had to get healing to bounce back up. Actually, that happened to them a couple of times in that whole complex fighting the boss there in Innistrad. I was really pleased with how balanced those boss encounters were, so that the party really felt like their characters were in danger during those fights, and it wasn't just something too easy for them, and it also wasn't something so overwhelming that they had no chance of winning the fight either. All right, well, that is going to do it for our discussion of Guardian of Faith. Hey, what has been the coolest use of Guardian of Faith that you have seen in a game where you have played? Go ahead in the comments below and let us know about that. Meanwhile, if you like everything we're doing here on the channel, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, click that post notification bell so that every time new content appears on the channel, you will be notified about it too. Look in the description and you'll find all the ways that you can follow me on social media, and you will find where you can watch the actual play games that I run on my Twitch channel. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. We hope that we will see you again next week for another Divine Thursday. All right, everybody. Good night.